So as the award season heats up here, can Ford versus Ferrari race his way to Oscar glory? Yeah, bad pun intended. And with that, I'm welcome you to another episode of The Road Mentor. My goal, as always, is to enhance your movie watching experience. So Ford versus Ferrari here. We got the newest movie by director James Mangold, who last gave us Logan, which is my favorite movie back in 2017. So I was excited to see what he brings to the table here. This one, of course, he tells a very entertaining, very visceral story about the Ford company, of course, back in the mid-60s in their attempts to kind of dethrone Ferrari in the Le Mans race and become kind of top dog to kind of, because at that time Ford was kind of in the dumps, the sales was really down, and Lee Iacocca, who was chairman at the time, was trying to get kind of put Ford in a new direction. And after a failed attempt to actually purchase Ferrari, they decided to go against them and do something which is thought nearly impossible, and that's be Ferrari in the racing game. Now, there's really a lot to enjoy about this film. Let me start with the co-leads here. Of course, we have Matt Damon, who plays Carroll Shelby, of course, was a famous, race car designer at the time, who gets contracted by Ford to help them build the car that's going to be Ferrari at Le Mans, which is the famous race in France it's a 24-hour race, so it's a very grueling event. And Shelby then goes on and he hires the best driver he knows, Ken Miles, played by Christian Bale, of course. And these two guys are great, which is no surprise. Christian Bale's one of the best of the game here, and he's fantastic in this film, as is Matt Damon. He definitely holds his own as well. You got great chemistry together. You really buy what they're doing, and you have a lot of fun with them. The interactions, the ups and downs they go through to try to perfect the vehicle that's going to win the race here and take down Ferrari finally. But although they get some great performances here, along with the rest of the cast, of course, the real stars are those behind the camera here, beginning with Mangold and his team, because, like I said, this is a very visceral experience. It's a super entertaining movie, and Mangold delivers a really nice paced film here. And those racing scenes are fantastic. I'm not even a car guy. I'm not really into racing at all. And you don't have to be to watch this movie. I found it just as enjoyable, not knowing much about the cars and all that, not into that kind of racing game. But he does such a great job delivering such good action. He puts it right in the middle of the race. The editing is spot on, and which it needs to be. The sound design is fantastic. And what's great about it is that, from what I understand, there's no CGI used, so the racing looks real, looks legit, so you feel that danger, and it's very tangible. Having CG would have taken a lot away from this film, so I'm glad they avoided that pitfall here. And from that standpoint, this movie delivers. It's a lot of fun, particularly obviously the Le Mans race at the end, which is an extended sequence there, but it's done so well, and you never really get tired, because sometimes you have a long action sequence, you kind of get bored and disengage. He such a great job of the editing and going back and forth with all the players involved that really keeps you locked in, and you really kind of just watching to see what exactly happens, although what's going to happen at the end of the day. Does a good enough job to kind of keep you in suspense there. And I thought that was great. From that standpoint, it's one of those, it's a very crowd-pleasing kind of film. My only real knock is the story itself. It's a very simple story. It doesn't really take any chances. It's just kind of, by the numbers kind of biopic, so to speak, as obviously it tells kind of this true story with Ford and Ferrari and all that. And from that standpoint, it's not a very deep or meaningful film per se. This is meant to be almost like a blockbuster-like film that has great performances, entertaining sequences. There's one that really is one for you to enjoy, and you're gonna be smiling from ear to ear throughout the whole film. I was, because again, Christian Bale is so good, particularly with the quiet moments with his family, really gets you to care about his character, because he really is a kind of pain in the ass. He really is. He's not exactly on surface level a very likable guy, but you get to learn to like him and root for him, which obviously is key, particularly in the final race here. So ultimately, Ford versus Ferrari is definitely a home run for me. It's an excellent film, very entertaining, one of the best of the year. I absolutely recommend you guys go watch it in the big screen with some great sound. The sound design again is top notch here. So kudos to the team, kudos to Mangold, and of course Christian Bale and Matt Damon themselves. So Ford versus Ferrari, should you watch it? I think you definitely should. Comment below, let me know what you guys thought. And of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe below and feed money to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.